You're listening to Toastmasters panel on donations and sponsorships. Welcome all filmmakers, you're in the film world. My name is Thomas Kenyon, video editor, live video specialist. Each week, I bring you an inspiring person or message that helps bring you closer to the film world. Thank you for visiting my link and podcast. Now, lights, camera, action. How often are you not able to find food for your film set's craft services? This panel that I got the privilege to sit on and help videotape will put some valuable insight into your brain. Listen to this panel because it's 40 minutes of Q&A, and they talk and answer questions about how they go about getting donations. Now this is for a Toastmasters club, but this can work well with film craft services or anyone that's under a low budget type production or event. Check this episode out just following my talking and you'll see what I'm talking about. You do not want to miss this episode coming up.
Alright, well, I am pleased to introduce our panelists. You've already met Robert Leschnau. Now I'd like to introduce you to Dawn Schneider at the end. She is the Area 64 Director, has been the Hospitality Chair for the Town North Division Contest this spring. Her team included Julie Barker, Aaron Thompson, and they collected donations from 12 different companies: African Fusion, Kroger, Panera Bread, Walmart, Uberti, Party City, Jason's Deli, Starbucks, and Expedia Cruise.
Wow.
I can't pronounce some bakery that's in French. Dawn used a combination of door-to-door solicitation with emails and phone call follow-ups, and that has proven to work repeatedly. She approaches potential sponsors with the offer of participating in a quote-unquote no-charge marketing opportunity that will benefit their company. Let's give Dawn a round of applause. And Desiree Goldsmith is an executive assistant with Ernst & Young, and he has an extensive background in technology and business administration. She has been with Ernst & Young Guns since April 1st of 2016. This year in June, she will be the first club member to achieve Distinguished Toastmasters from Ernst & Young, which was chartered in 1996.
Woo!
The motivation behind her drive was to show other members in the club that it was possible. She hopes to continue to lead by example and grow within the Toastmasters organizations for years to come. She is currently also the Area 36 Metro Area 36 Area Director. Wow. Embrace that. So please help me welcome our panelists. So we're going to start asking everybody the same questions. It's almost like after the area contest where we meet the contestants. So the first question is, how many companies did you approach for sponsorship and how many out of those donated?
I'll start since I know the answer. Any question you ask that I know the answer to is a good question.
Okay.
I usually approach about 30, and I usually get about 12 to 14 sponsors to donate something. It's not necessarily always cash. Sometimes it's a gift card or food itself, and a lot of times it's not something you can necessarily monetize. Like if I bought something at Walmart that I normally, for example, I got a Jason's Deli fruit tray. If I bought fruit at Walmart, it would be less money, but from Jason's Deli, it would be more. So if I were to monetize that, it would be probably cost me more to buy it from Jason's Deli. But Jason's Deli gets a benefit of marketing in their community, and so I sell the opportunity as a marketing opportunity.
Awesome. Desiree?
So I am a procrastinator. So I am going to be honest. I approached 5 companies and all 5 companies donated. And it was, please, baby, please. With as much enthusiasm as I can put into it. But one of the largest, I have a knack for approaching hotels. Every hotel that I approached gave me at least a one-night stay. Now, mind you, one of the hotels I had to drive all the way out to Sherman and use my gas and pick up the voucher because they were like, your event is when? Tomorrow? We'll do it. You got to drive for it. So that was a midnight drive. I stopped at Choctaw. We had a good time. But I am a procrastinator, but I do agree with Robert here. That if you have enthusiasm and you have the best pitch, because I think I do have the best last minute pitch, I've gotten that down to a science at this point. If you are enthusiastic and you have a good pitch, it's really hard for people to say no, especially when you give them the big puppy dog face and please sponsor me for 25 cents a day. So it's really good in that aspect.
Awesome.
Similar to what Don had mentioned, I probably reached out to 25 or 30 different entities, whether they're businesses or retailers or whoever it might have been. 25 to 30, and I probably got 10 that said yes. The key is, though, that you have to follow up. It's very, very important to follow up. You can submit donation request after donation request, and they may just go into a no man's land, right? You won't ever hear anything back. The key, though, is to follow up.
Follow up, okay. Keeping with the same theme, we've got a range between 30 to 40%, all the way up to 100, but a smaller sample size. How do you deal with rejection? Because I think that rejection is the thing that most people are the most afraid of when we're asking for donations. So what is your strategy to put on your like rejection-proof vest and not have to worry about it?
I can answer that.
Okay.
You would need to approach it from the standpoint that they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting an opportunity to help their community, and it may be because they've already donated to other places and they've used up their budget. So you have to have the attitude that you approach them as if you know that they're generous, because they will sense that you know they're generous and they'll want to confirm that and validate that perception that you have of them and their brand. And so just like any other marketing or sales type of role that you would be filling, you're going to approach it with a positive attitude about the people that you're working with. And if they say no, then you assume that they have a good reason for that, and you move on, because every no gets you closer to the next yes.
Anybody else have anything they'd like to add on that?
I do. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
So, when you're dealing with rejection, the thing is, the surprising thing that I found is that the companies that I was certain they were going to say no. I was absolutely certain they were going to say no. When I walked in, I was surprised, shocked. I was just beside myself when they actually said yes. You never know. You never know what they're going to say until you actually do it. Now, as far as rejection, you just keep going. You just brush it off and you just keep moving forward.
My standpoint about rejection, especially when it comes to donation, I don't view it as a no forever. So the thing is with these companies, they have preset monthly budgets. So if they tell you no, ask them, well, since you can't do this one, can you do my fall one? Because again, as area directors, we have 2 contests. If you give them a 2-day notice like I did, now I done gave them a 9-month notice to the next one. And all my donations for that one came through because I was just like, okay, I know that I'm late for this one. We're doing the same event in the fall, and you'll be my number one top spot because you're number one at this point. Can I go ahead and do the application? Oh yeah, we'll do the fall one. So even though they say no, just keep trying, because it may be a no right then because of budget, but it may not be a no forever. And also, even if they can't help your area contest, we have all areas, and we're going for 6 months straight with contests. Maybe they can help someone else's in your district. Like I solicited donations for area 32 and 33 and 31, but just because they couldn't help me doesn't mean they can't help them. So it all works out in the end. So just because they say no to you at that moment, just try a little bit, because it may be that they can help you along the line somewhere.
Awesome. So my takeaway from that is 2 things. 1, no doesn't mean, no may mean yes later on. And then it's not me, it's you. So that's where you mentioned specifically use email. So I'll allow everybody else to answer if they have one, but you also mentioned puppy dog eyes. So how do you convey the puppy dog eyes through your email or phone communication?
So what I do is I start with an email first, if I have their email. Because generally what happens is, because I am a procrastinator. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm probably the worst one up here. These are the good guys. Because I procrastinate, my thing is like, I'm in Starbucks and I'm like, oh, I probably need coffee for the event next week. So I'll say, hey, my favorite barista, Perla, I'm just going to say her name, is so-and-so in? No, let me give you his email. Okay, I'll send an email. I'll be like, hey, I was in today. And I'll write this really long email. And I'll be like, but I'm going to be down there to get my favorite drink at noon. Will you be in? Because I tend to solicit places that people know my face. Or like, so mine was my local Tom Thumb because everybody knows me there. My local Kroger's because me and Lisa have the best relationship. Every time I go in there, she's like, oh, you're shopping for your husband. Walmart, my pickup guy, he knows me by name, car, and is excited every time he pops my trunk because he's like, you have the cleanest trunk ever. So like my places that I go to, or I get personal emails, I get personal phone numbers because I know these people. So I would say that if you know someone, start with your network, because you never know who you know. Well, you know who you know, but you never know who they know. So like I got a lot of emails and a lot of phone numbers and a lot of contacts just through people I knew last minute. And yeah, you can have you ever heard that someone can hear you smile through the phone? Someone can hear you cry through email. So they can hear you smile, they can hear you cry, they read your words. And my favorite part is when I get the reply and they're like, come downstairs, we'll give you a chocolate. Yes, I'm on my way. So yeah, I do it like that.
Awesome. Robert, Don, do you have anything you'd like to add on that?
Just a few things that to think about. One is expressing gratitude is really essential. And one of the ways you can do that really helps the business to promote themselves to the people that they promote themselves to, is to take pictures of the contest, or have somebody, if you're the chair, probably delegate that because you're going to be super busy. But have pictures taken of people enjoying the products and food and everything that they donated. If there's gifts that you're giving away to the helpers, take a picture of somebody holding it and saying thank you, because they can put those on their boards that they like to brag how they donate and promote themselves to the community, that we're a community partner, we help people. And that really will help them to feel like what they did was valuable, and then they're more likely to donate to you in the future.
Robert, do you have anything to add on that one?
I would say that, because you're requesting donations on behalf of Toastmasters, also bring in a tie-in to how Toastmasters, and if they were to find their local Toastmasters club, how that could also benefit them and how they could really get connected that way. Not only through a donation, through an active donation, but also see how that donation can be put to work through the club contest or through the area contest, wherever that's being used at, and how they can tangibly make a connection to that.
Awesome. Great. I have one more before I'll turn it over to the audience for their questions. Robert, you specifically talked about making a target list, and you named off some of the things and how you tied it in. I'll give you an opportunity to expand on it. Because what I really want to know is how did you make your target list? How do you decide who you're going to go after, who you're not? You alluded to some of it. I'm going to start with you so you can add a little color, and it gives Don and Desiree a little bit of time to think about their response to the same question.
Sure. So you know you're going to be either trying to collect donations for a breakfast contest, a lunch contest, or a dinner contest. So start there, right? And identify your targets based on the foods and the services that they can provide as it aligns to those three different areas of the day, right? Either breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Make a list of the well-known brands that are out there, right? Jason's Deli, Taco Cabana, Chick-fil-A. Once you've identified that, hit restaurants first. Also tie in supermarkets because it's important, critical to tie in a supermarket because you're going to need paper products. You're going to need paper plates, knives, forks, all that stuff that goes along with it. You're going to need your other materials, your flyers and things like that. So you need to identify a Staples or an Office Max that can give you those materials, but then find a way to differentiate. I mentioned it in my speech. You need to think outside of the box because not only are you going to hit that target list, everyone else is going to be hitting it too. So you want to make sure that you're finding a way to hit a list of people that no one else is going to be targeting.
To add on to that, because I'm last minute, I'm just going to put that up there. I never make the deadlines. I never make the 4-week, 8-week deadlines. So hit mom and pop places that are self-owned, because they still get write-offs for doing donations. They are still a business. They still get a write-off. And the thing is, those mom and pop places probably need the advertisements more than Walmart or more than Target or more than any other places. For instance, I got a breakfast spread from a taco place downtown. Nobody knows about it. It was a Black-owned place called Just Tex Tacos. And everyone's like, no, we're not going to eat there. And then I got it catered. I was like, hey, if I pay half, will y'all donate half and cater? And they were like, sure. What? We got it. And it's at this place. I'm like, yeah. And I was like, I'll pick it up. You don't have to pay for delivery. We'll just do it that way. They got so much business from me just doing a breakfast spread for them because no one knew they were actually good food. Because, it was a weird name, Just Tex Tacos. Like, you're like, okay, is it just Texas tacos? Is it like street tacos? Like, the name's kind of weird. But they have amazing tacos. And they've been, every time, like, I call them for anything, they're like, of course. Because every time you do something, we get an influx of people to our restaurant. So definitely try to target mom and pop places because they get the write-off. They need the advertisement. Going back to what Don said, that free marketing almost. Because if you take something good, you're gonna go back to it. Case in point, when we got the, I think it's called, I'm gonna butcher the name, but we had an African restaurant cater for the Metro Division as a donation. That food was amazing. And me and my husband have been back twice. So, definitely want to do those types of things. Mom and pop places is the place to hit for me.
I guess my answer to the question about what targets is very similar to what Robert was saying as far as you need to know if you're doing breakfast, lunch, or dinner first. But you also don't just start with, for me, I don't start with just these are the companies I'm going to target. I start with creating my flyer. And this is a flyer that my assistant Andy created for our last area contest, which was all heart healthy related. And so because the theme was heart healthy, like Robert was saying in his speech earlier, I used the theme to target different locations that were more healthy type of food. But I don't just limit it to what is on my target list. I'll go to the Target place and I'll hit every single store in that little center that makes sense for either a gift card to give away as a helper gift or to offer, if they're a food place, then it might be the type of food that we're looking for. And so I don't necessarily limit it to my target list. I'll more like have a target map. And so I'll go around, I probably only spent about 10 hours total of soliciting for donations out of 65 hours that I did the contest. And then behind that is the letter that you were going to email them later. This all gets emailed later as a follow-up. And then behind that is the Internal Revenue Service letter from the Toastmasters International. It has the tax ID on it, which is usually all they really need. But this letter shows them that this is a real nonprofit organization right from the start. And a lot of times you'll walk in, and I like to do door-to-door because I'm outgoing and I'm friendly and I enjoy talking to people. It gives me energy. And if you don't like that process, try it at least once and see how much more effective it can be, because that personal touch can really be helpful. And so what I do is I just walk in and I say, I'd like to talk to your manager.
Come on.
Thank you for the idea of asking for donations that can be used for gifts for the helpers, because I had not thought about that. I only thought about food and decorations and ice, that sort of thing. What did you spend the rest of the money on? $975 would buy a lot of food, some nice decorations, tablecloths, but actually did you spend it all?
So when I got all those donations, right? I mean, towards the end, I got a flood of donations. And what do you do with it? Is exactly my thought. So you give them away as helper gifts. That's the one thing. What I did in my contest, and I'm not necessarily, saying this to be a proponent of this type of activity, but I raffled off all of the gifts that I had during my contest.
Yes.
So we had like a Hunger Games type of a theme overall. And, in Hunger Games, not to deviate too much from the discussion, you know how there's a purging, right, where they're selecting people that participate in the Hunger Games. Well, I purged gifts for the people in the audience. So a lot of the audience members went away with something. That's what I did with it. And to really build excitement and build anticipation about the contest, I had stated that I was going to be doing that leading up to the contest. So I got a lot of people to turn out to attend the contest, to support the contest, because I did that.
I did the same thing. We had a abundance of food. We got a lot of food donations. What ended up happening last minute on the border catered the entire thing. And then I had donations for other restaurants. So we had food on top of food, on top of food, on top of that food. And people were rolling out with pans, like aluminum pans full of food. And we did a contest all day. So we had breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So it was literally food on top of food on top of food. But we had a lot of great gifts, like thermal. We got a case of thermal cups, like the really good kind that keep your drinks really cold for like 24 hours. They sent me a 50 case of those. I got 50 bags, I think it was. So we were putting cups in bags and we were handing them out to pretty much everybody. We did games and we were handing them out. All the helpers. I mean, if you even said a word, you got something. Like, literally, if you stood up and said, "Here, helper." So we were giving out stuff left and right, and it was very enjoyable. Everybody was like, "I can't believe we got to leave with something that was awesome." And then what I did is what was left, because we still couldn't give out everything. I used it for our Metro Division basket. So our baskets for each contest or each conference was really nice. Metro had the best basket. We're just gonna claim that. So of course I couldn't give out hotel stays at a contest, so those went in the basket. We got some wireless speakers that we didn't want to, because like if someone got a cup and then someone else got Bluetooth wireless speakers, I think that, so things like that, we just saved it and put it in the Metro Division basket, and that actually limited how much people had to come out of pocket to fill in that basket at the end of the contest.
You want me to answer that question? I did have something to say. I like all the ideas. I even wrote down division baskets because I'm a division director. I've got my notes here too. Thank you guys. So yes, door prizes are great. I've actually been, before I was an area director, when I was the president of the club, I had to actually contribute to the area directors contest because they weren't able to get enough donations. And that is sort of a last minute thing that it may have to happen if, for example, the area director has a lot going on in their life and they don't have time to solicit for donations. So it's not like against the rules to do that, but it gives your presidents especially, but your clubs that you're serving a different sort of taste in their mouth about what you're doing for them. And so it's better if you can make the contest something that you're offering to them. And you're more likely to get a lot more participation if when they come to a contest that they know it's kind of like a party for them to enjoy. And it's good to get their participation, but it's better if their participation is in filling the roles than it is if they have to bring food or pay to be at the contest. And so it's really helpful to have the surplus. And if you do have more than you need, for example, I had one donator who was an owner of real estate, and she actually was not somebody I was targeting. I was at Utopia Food and Fitness, soliciting at the last minute to get a few more things for the Town North Division contest since I was a hospitality chair this last spring. And this lady just overheard me soliciting. And she came over and she's like, I want to know about Toastmasters. So I took out my flyer from my club, which I always carry with me, and told her all about my club. But I also, she was like, well, I also want to donate for this thing. So I noticed more than this, since you're so generous and we are at the end of the solicitation process, I may not even need all this. So what I'll do is I'll put half of this toward this contest and half toward the next contest, which is the next division contest coming up. And I made sure that was okay with the chair. But the way that we did that, she actually ended up showing up to the contest. And her businesses were benefited by getting a chance to be in both this flyer that we did for this contest, but she'll also be in the next contest. So now I already have a little bit of money for the next contest available.
Awesome. We have 2 more questions. I would ask you to be brief. So Christy actually had her hands up, and then Jeffrey. So ask away, Christy.
Well, I think you kind of answered my question. I was curious how you were going to use the hotel voucher in a contest, but you basically let that roll into the basket, right?
We did both times. I think the one time, the first basket had a 2-night stay at a hotel, and in this past basket, it had 2 one-night stays, and one came with breakfast, which I was super excited about because breakfast was like $24.99. So she was like, "Yeah, free breakfast for 2 people." I was like, "Yeah."
And Jeffrey?
My question is, what I noticed in your conversation there that I picked up on 3 kind of distinct styles. One a marketing opportunity, one was a circle of influence, another was just target marketing. How do you determine which of those fits your personality or your style if you're going to go out and solicit for donations?
That's easy. You try each one.
Yeah. I don't think it's what fits you. It's what's going to fit them.
It's true.
Because I do all 3. And I think, like I said, I'm up here more because I'm a last minute person. Because I think a lot of people get discouraged that it is last minute. Like, you only had 6 weeks. I have way longer than I'm still waiting. But it's possible. Everything is possible. There is money out there and you can do it, you will have to take different approaches with different people. Mom and pop places, I already know, they're personable. You need to see, they want to see you shopping in their place. Like, don't go to a mom and pop place and don't eat and just be like, oh, I just came in here to solicit. No, mom and pop places that I normally target is places that I eat either on the regular, or I know the owner, or my mom does, or, you know, different things like that. The target and the marketing approach, always the best approach for like big corporations, because they're busy. They don't want to sit and chitter chatter with you all day and know about your kids and what they do. When their next soccer game is, they don't care. They want the information, they want it in hand, they want the email, they want the follow-up. So I think the approach is going to change with who you're targeting, not for you personally.
Yeah, you got to follow their method. So that, especially for grocery stores, that you probably want to start with. And if you're going to be an area director this coming season, your contest is probably less than 8 weeks away, potentially. So you want to start thinking about who you might solicit to now, even before you're finalized to be sure you're an area director. Well, as soon as you know that you're going to be responsible for the contest, you might only have 6 to 8 weeks. So you want to start soliciting at the places that have forms you have to fill out. Usually those are the grocery stores and the big box type stores. And then I do the mom and pop type stores at the end, because they can just hand you a gift card or write out. I've actually had a donut shop write out on a business in writing that they can hand them as a coupon.
No, I would just say that I agree with the other two. That no, I would again just say that I agree with the other two that there is 3 different marketing strategies. You got to do. You'll find one that works best for you. Stick to it and move forward.
Oh, can I have a last question? I know, hey, as a host, I would like to have a question too.
If Kevin will allow it. Please.
Kevin, please.
Have you had this turkey? I can't believe it. You know what? I know my friends would love this turkey. Jason, can I talk to you for a moment? I think I got an opportunity for you.
What would that be?
I am a part of Toastmasters, and we have these events every year that we have to solicit donations for. And I literally just had the best turkey sandwich of my life.
Oh, you really like it?
I love it. Do you happen to donate to nonprofit organizations?
We do.
Okay, well, let me give you my information. And can I have a business card so I can email you everything?
Yeah, let me get one.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I am going to follow up with you. Oh, wait a minute.
How much do you normally give? You really like the sandwich.
I am dramatic. I'm going to tell you, because when I have to lay on the charm people, there is not enough spread. So I'm eating. Oh, I'm so sorry.
How much do you normally need, or do you want food, or do you want money?
Well, it's all up to you. I'll send a list of everything that we need donated.
Okay.
And then I'll just let you decide, because any little amount is much appreciated, because we are nonprofit and our budget is very small.
So if I gave you like maybe a little small sandwich tray and then some coupons for your friends or the Toastmaster people,
Yes,
they might come back into our.
correct.
That could be great.
Yes, and we're a nonprofit organization teaching leadership and public speaking. And my friend, your sandwiches would go off.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I'll think about it. Yeah. I'll be seeing.
So that's how you last minute solicit. See, I got a tray of
Does anybody else want a roll pick? There's a system on.
Sure, okay, I'll do it. All right, so I'm coming in. You're not the manager this time, right?
Okay, I'm the
You're
I'm the front desk worker.
you're the associate.
Associate. Oh,
All right, so we'll use Jason Deli again, all right? So, hi, Matt. How are you?
Great.
This is actually the name of the guy that I talked about. I've actually talked to Matt at least 3 or 4 times because I go into this Jason Deli a lot, so I know his name by now. I make sure that I come up to the counter to ask for the donation when the person I already have been talking to is there. That's not always the case, but in this case it is. Hey, I just wanted to let you know there's this Toastmaster contest coming up.
Okay.
I wondered if you'd like to come, and I actually make these little, the flyer into a quarter-page flyer, and I hand those out to people who are not necessarily the decision maker, but they happen to be working there that day, so that when they put this flyer on the manager's desk, that they actually get to keep their own invitation. So I'm inviting you to this contest. Here's a little invitation for you, and I would just like to know if you can give this to your manager.
I would love to. May doesn't come in until like the evening shift at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That'll be fine.
Okay.
If you can just put this on her desk, and then if you give me a card or
Oh, yeah. Let me get that real quick. I need the card.
Thank you
Here's
so
her
much.
card.
Are you familiar with Toastmasters?
I'm not. I've never heard of it.
Well, it's a nonprofit organization that helps people develop speaking and leadership skills.
So not just like toast and stuff
No.
like that? I thought it was a drinking organization.
Me too, at first.
That's a good look, I guess.
Yeah. So if this contest is coming up real soon, and I remember from our previous conversation that you said you were interested in potentially being able to do presentations better. So this might be
That's
something
true.
you can come and just be an audience member. Don't have to worry about speaking or anything. Just come in and enjoy the other people's speeches and see what's possible.
Okay, that sounds like a great thing. I will make sure May gets your contact,
Okay.
and we'll go from there.
All right. Thank you.
Ready to order?
Yes, I am.
Okay, awesome.
I want that turkey sandwich.
Yes, ma'am.
We still have Robert. Can Robert demonstrate one thing is you don't know the person's name. When you don't know the person's name, it's a call, visit.
Cold call.
Sure.
Cold call.
Sure.
I know, but this is a me and Jude. Me and beef? Me and beef? Me and juice?
Are we still at Jason's Deli?
No,
No.
fish market.
Fish
You
market.
don't know the fish market manager.
Fish market manager.
Hey.
Hi, I'm Robert. I'm representing Toastmasters International.
All right. Hey, Robert, I'm Jason. Nice to meet you. I've never heard of Toastmasters before. How can I help you?
So Toastmasters is an organization that helps individuals from the general public, so you're welcome to be a member of Toastmasters, improve your public speaking and leadership skills. I'm here today to see if you would be interested in a unique opportunity. I have an opportunity for you to connect with your local community, to provide a donation for an area contest that's going to be happening here in 3 weeks.
First, what's an area contest?
So an area contest, it's a speech contest for Toastmasters,
Okay.
where these individuals get to demonstrate what they've learned over the course of their time within the organization.
Okay.
Public speaking.
Gotcha.
Great opportunity. We'll slap your logo on the back of the program, so everyone attending the program will have an opportunity to see you as a company, be able to recognize you, come in here afterwards, and enjoy your fabulous.
It certainly sounds possible. I think right now we kind of donated everything to where I think maybe next month we might have our budget allocated.
Well, the good news is, this is the good news.
Okay.
My contest is next month.
Oh.
So it'll be a great opportunity for me to get in on that next cycle.
Okay. Let me
What
give
do
you
you
a
think?
business card.
Let me
and
take your
send
business-
me an email.
Let me take your business card. I'll follow up with you in 2 weeks.
I've got a box. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Rob.
What's your acceptance rate?
40 to 50% for me.
I'm at 100.
I would say 30, 35, 40%.
Yeah, let's give our panelists another huge round of applause. We have a very small appreciation of our appreciation. Wow. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you listening to my episodes here at Keeping It Real in the Film World with me, Sweet Tea. And I'd also appreciate if you go right now to wherever you listen to this, over on Apple Podcasts or Google Play Music, and review my podcast and give me a rating of 5 stars. This will help me show up in the algorithms for the platforms so that more people like yourselves can hear what my guests have to say. again, go and give me a review and write a little comment and tell the world what you thought and what you liked about it. And I appreciate everything that you can give me, and for again listening to my show. And I hope you come back next time for another episode.